So, look, maybe Michael Jordan sees something in Gordon Hayward that none of us see. You know, maybe he's seeing something in Hayward that makes him want to pull off this huge fucking gamble. You know, maybe Gordon Hayward's going to have the best season of his career. Maybe he's going to average 25 a game, shoot the lights out. You know, not be so horrible on defense. Um, Jordan will be like, "I told you so." You know, maybe he'll finally get rid of that image of being an incompetent owner. I just saw something Gordon Hayward that just reminded me myself. You know, the competitive nature. He's a competitive kid. You know, come back from injury. Reminds me of myself when had my foot injury in '86. I came back, had a 6-3 against Boston, and the rest is history. Gordon just needed opportunity. Opportunity and be on a team, part of an organization. Get his competitive juices flowing. Or um, maybe more likely, Jordan's pattern of picking talent is going to continue. Kwame Brown, all the terrible, terrible signings, draft picks. I tend to side with that one, man. I just don't get it personally. I'm not knocking anybody for getting that money. I don't knock Gordon Hayward. This ain't on Gordon Hayward. I don't have any anger toward Gordon Hayward. My anger is toward sports fans and I guess Jordan. What the fuck are you thinking? This guy is 30 years old with a history of injury, both minor and major. Yeah, he looked better this past year. He shot 50% from the floor, which is great. But he's such a liability on the defense. And he's still inconsistent. Yeah, he shot 50%, but he's still sort of inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? He might drop 35. Wow. Then he'll have 2 games in a row where combined he shoots something like 9 of maybe 26 or some shit like that. 9 of 28. And on defense, he gets burned. And I'm just thinking, like, I don't know. I don't know what. 4 years, 120 million? What do you guys see? What do you guys see for Charlotte? Because I don't see them make the playoffs again. You know, and I gotta be honest, man. I don't see the same energy aimed at Gordon Hayward when it comes to underperforming as opposed to other players. Okay. Now, mind you, if you criticize Gordon Hayward in the comment section, this is when it'll pop up. Oh man, you hate no snowflakes. Look, man, you hating on Gordon Hayward. Okay, you hating on Gordon Hayward. Look, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. You know, and he's coming off that injury. But he has injuries. He's a nice guy. He's nice. Suck my balls. Okay? First of all, Russell Westbrook, I know a lot of people like, Mike, why do you like that bum? I just like him. I don't know. I just fucking like the dude, all right? Okay? I like him.
Maybe it's just the fact that I root for the underdog a lot. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's because I like that he at least plays hard. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes don't give you effort. I know he's a fucking bonehead at times. And he makes a lot of dumb fucking decisions out there, but I just fucking like the guy, okay? Stop getting my fucking back. I just fucking like him, okay? But anyway, Russell Westbrook has had, if I'm not mistaken, 2 major surgeries over the past 3 years, something like that, 2 years. Plus, he just had COVID, right? Nobody takes that into consideration about when he has poor performances. And I don't think he wants those excuses. But Gordon Hayward, excuse after excuse. But he's a nice guy. Kyrie was there. Supposed to have been both Kyrie and Gordon Hayward. But yet, all the blame went to Kyrie. Well, Kyrie's the one that got hurt. Kyrie's just not a leader. So when did Gordon Hayward magically went from being a all-star caliber, borderline, maybe on the verge of perhaps superstardom to, oh, he's just a nice guy. We like him in the locker room. And he brings certain intangibles. No, no, no. He brings certain intangibles. Yeah, that's the ticket. He brings intangibles. And, he gives guys, he makes sure that we all have our cups of Gatorade and he stays back and he watches film and he does all these great things. That's worth $30 million a year? Certainly. Um, sure. Fuck out of here. He's overpaid. Okay? He's fucking overpaid. Bless him. But we all know what's going to happen. What's going to happen is that he's going to probably play maybe 60, 65 games next year. He's probably going to average about 17, 18 maybe. He'll put up some points. He'll get burnt on defense. Charlotte, if he scores 17, 18, the opponent going to average about 25 a game. You know what I'm saying? And Charlotte's not going to make the playoffs. I think that's pretty accurate, right? Charlotte's going to probably go 34 and 48, and they're not making the playoffs. That's pretty much all I got to say about that. Michael Jordan still has a gambling problem, and it's being seen with that. Okay. Now, want to go on to other situations. Rajon Rondo pump faked the Clippers. He was the Clippers' last hope at some type of signing, and he's going to go to the Atlanta Hawks. 2-year deal. Okay. 2-year, $15 million deal, Atlanta Hawks. And now suddenly Atlanta looks like one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. Where? I'm not sure, but they're going to be one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference now. And it's looking like, even though it's rumor and it's not confirmed, it's looking like they're a leading contender to actually get Bogdanovich. And it does make sense because apparently uh, Bogdanovich wants playing time. And that might actually occur on Atlanta Hawks, as opposed to if you went to Milwaukee or the Lakers, you're going to be the fourth option. I guess he wants to be featured more. So it does make sense. All right. But, and also, shout out to Rondo for the way that he congratulated the Lakers for giving him that opportunity to win a championship. And shout out to Lakers Nation. He's a fucking class act. Okay? He's a class act. All right? Matter of fact, I'm going to read his Instagram post in Archie Bunker's voice. So thank you to the Lakers organization, Jeannie and Rob, for giving me the opportunity to play for an incredible franchise here. professionalism and support from Frank and the coaching staff and support staff is something I'm truly grateful for. With my guys, there's an amazing KKK brotherhood. Brotherhood that only we know there. To the fans, thank you for welcoming me with open arms from day one and showing me love there. Being a part of the Lake Show was something special, and I'm proud we brought it back to you. That's what you call a classy darky there. Classy darky. Unlike Booty Bandit, who, you know what I'm saying, wanted more money, wanted more playing time, even though the Lakers were the only team to give you a fucking chance when you had your tail between your fucking legs. And you got impatient apparently, and you know what I'm saying, because they hadn't come over the offer, and you signed with the Sixers. And apparently, I didn't even notice when I did my video talking about how he's a big dummy. Now he's an incredibly big gay dummy. That money's not even guaranteed. You stupid son of a fucking bitch. And you still gonna be a backup. You dumbass. You's a big, big, big dummy. Big dummy. But yeah, Rondo, I mean, he's not the physical force he once was with the Boston Celtics in his Sacramento Kings years. But I mean, passing ability, tremendous floor general, tremendous court vision. Um, you know, the way he can control the tempo of a game, and you know, he still, you know, he still can dominate a game in so many different ways. And you know, now that he's an outside threat too, I think during the bubble he shot like 40% from three or something like that. Yeah, Rondo, he's going to definitely be a Hall of Famer, man. He's going to the Hall of Fame. And the big losers of this offseason has been the Clippers. Okay, and I agree with something Ticket TV said. Shout out to Ticket TV. If you're not subscribed to Ticket TV, please subscribe to Ticket TV, man. Okay. I agree with something he said. Being that the Clippers, if anything, they've lost standing, they lost ground, they lost Montrezl Harrell. They're not going to really get any significant pieces. If you're the Clippers and you know that Paul George and Kawhi are going to walk, they might trade them. They might trade them midseason, especially, especially if the Clippers are not playing up to expectations. Like, by that I mean, if they're not even like in the top three in the West, which is plausible, but even if you're like third in the West, is that really enough? Because if you're the Clippers, do you want these guys to walk? Knowing, knowing, you know, Jerry West, more than likely, I would say it was probable he might trade them, especially Kawhi. Because I'm gonna tell you something, man. Like I said before, I don't like the way Kawhi looked last. I like the way he looked this past season in the bubble. I know that with his knee condition, it's degenerative. It's going to get worse over time. And when you play a lot of games like that during the playoffs, he's going to limp. You're going to see him favor that leg. But as opposed to the year before when he was with Toronto, he just looked stiffer. And he didn't like he was moving well. You know, if you remember, like when the Clippers blew that 3-1 lead, those last three games when Kawhi was failing to come through, it's like he was settling for outside shots, and he was settling. He was just pretty much just settling for threes. And I'm like, it's making me wonder, damn, is this thing bothering him more than he's letting on? I mean, because he can hit threes, but goddamn, you have a better offensive game than that. You can take it to the hole. You know what I'm saying? Like it was even getting to the point he wasn't even taking mid-range shots. He was just hanging at 3-point line and shit. And this wasn't like when they were down a lot. This is when they actually had a lead. So, and Paul George, Paul George is just Paul George. Um, Paul George is a follower. Um, he's not someone you can trust down the stretch of games when the pressure's on. And I just think, yeah, man, Clippers, man, Jesus Christ. King of LA, my ass. The only king of LA Kawhi's the king of is ligament arthritis. That's about it. You know. Um, that's pretty much it, man. That's all I got to say. The big winners, Lakers, they done stacked that deck like a Dagwood sandwich. Um, all I'm gonna say is though, like I said in my other video, I just want people in the mainstream media, the Kendrick Perkins and the Shannon Sharps and Nick Wrights and all the other the analysts, on ESPN, all the analysts that were criticizing the Clippers for stacking the deck last year. I want that same energy. You know what I'm saying? Any team that's stacking the deck, keep that same energy. You know. Oh, and shout out to Carmelo Anthony for re-signing with the Portland Trailblazers. Right? He could have done what Dwight Howard did, uh, be disloyal, not appreciate and show gratitude for the situation that was given upon him, and just bolt and try to ring chase or whatever. And no, it's not about being loyal to an organization. It's about showing your appreciation for a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Um, Nobody wanted to get. Remember, Carmelo was out of a job. Carmelo was out of the NBA for something like 370 something days. I can't remember the exact number. I want to say it was 376 days. Carmelo Anthony was out of the NBA. That's over a year. And it wasn't because of injury. Nobody was willing to give this guy a fucking chance. Okay? Not even his so called friend, LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Not even his own friend was willing, apparently, to give him a shot. That's kind of fucked up. So it took someone like Dame Lillard to give him a shot. Now, I don't like the way that they sometimes freeze him out in Portland, because I think if they didn't freeze him out, he would have averaged closer to 20 as opposed to the 16. I think he averaged close to 17. But still, at the end of the day, Carmelo had a very successful year. He shot 38% from three. You know what I'm saying? 43% from the field. He was classic Carmelo, man. And he was even statistically one of the better defensive players for Portland. Even though he's noted supposedly for being such a poor defensive player, um, but he showed gratitude for that situation. Unlike you know what I'm saying, unlike Dwight Howard, DH, Dookie Hole lover, you know what I'm saying. He was in the same situation. You know, he was saying all the right things. He says all the right things, but at the end of the day, I'm sorry, man. I don't like Dwight Howard. Okay, I don't, and it has nothing to do with the fact that that he's most likely, you know, um, a homosexual, or that he's into having, uh, you know, orgies trannies and shit like that. That has nothing to do with it. I don't like him because he's a phony motherfucker. Okay, I never really made a video going in on him, but I don't like him because he's a fucking phony. Okay, on the one end, you go on and take your ass to the 700 Club and talk about how much you're a fucking Christian, right? Go on there with Pat Robinson and all those hypocrites, right? And you talk about how much you're a fucking Christian, you believe in God and morality and all this shit. But at the same time, motherfucker, you have all these fucking different children by different mamas. Okay? A deadbeat dad. Then you going around and having all types of gratuitous, very risky, you know, Sodom and Gomorrah-esque sexcapades, but you call yourself a Christian. Now, I know that got nothing to do with basketball, but then all the shit he's done basketball-wise, leaving Orlando in ruin for a couple seasons because they bend over backwards to try to acquiesce to your demands, and you still fucking left them, you ungrateful bitch. You burnt all these bridges to all these different fucking franchises. Orlando, LA. You couldn't handle playing with fucking Kobe Bryant. Couldn't handle that shit. You thought a championship was gonna be easy, motherfucker? That shit ain't fucking easy. It's not easy. You couldn't handle the fucking pressure, you soft, putty bitch. You know what I'm saying? Then he went to Houston. It didn't work out there. You burnt your bridges there. Went to Atlanta. Apparently, I think when they announced that you got traded out of Atlanta, your teammates cheered because they wanted you gone. They don't like you because you're an egotistical son of a bitch. Went to Charlotte. Didn't work out there. Jordan gave you a fucking chance. Another bonehead choice that Jordan made. No, I think you the GOAT and everything, but another bonehead decision. Then he went to Washington. All right. Must have fucked the John Holmes of trannies. Hurt your fucking ass muscle. Had to have surgery. You know what I'm saying? Then you went to Memphis. That didn't work out. Your career was over. Done. Kaput. Lakers gave you a fucking chance. A shot. And they had you on a leash. Okay? They were this fucking close to saying no. Now, in this situation, LeBron and them did vouch for you. You did okay. You know what I'm saying? You did the right things. You lost a lot of weight and you played better than I anticipated. A lot of people anticipated. You won a championship. But as soon as you won a title, you began to show your ass. I want more money. I'm not accepting the veteran minimum. Once again, you thought yourself as a star. And guess what? Instead of showing some patience in class, if you just shut the fuck up, you probably would have re-signed with the Lakers by now. Maybe even for a little bit more out of gratitude. Could be on another easier ride, I would say, for a second title to help to elevate your. You're already gonna be in the Hall of Fame anyway, but it would elevate your resume. Nope. Showed your ass. Said you want more money. You want more playing time. All these fucking demands from a motherfucker that didn't have a job a year ago. Now you sign with a team where you're still gonna be a role player. Okay. And the money that you signed was veteran minimum. And I didn't even know this, like I said, it's not even guaranteed money. That makes you the king of dummies, you big dummy, you dummy, you.